So, much to the chagrin of some of my wonderful viewers, that's every single one of you, Nickvideos will no longer be debating me. Very, very, very sorry. Very, very, very sorry. Nickvideos, the conservative, he doesn't like that term, classical liberal, um, TikTok political superstar, has backed out. Now, actually, this is not as much of a problem as you might think. Apparently, Nickvideos has recently hung up the MAGA hat. Credit where credit is due. Nickvideos has recently dropped support of Trump and seems to be taking a break from political content for a little bit. Which, if I've got my watch dialed correctly, sounds to me like maybe some political opinions might change in the near future. Now, of course, that's up to him. No big. I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing, of course. But on the whole, I'm okay with this. I think it's all right. Because one of the biggest things that I was going to hammer Nickvideos on was going to be his support of Trump. Because if you consider yourself a classical liberal, you cannot be a Trump supporter. This is something, we all know this, I think, from the Sargon of Akkad arc, back before Sargon basically just openly admitted to being a white nationalist. But a classical liberal, I mean, this is back to the days practically of antiquity. We're talking about, Adam Smith. The basic gist of the classical liberal, it was kind of like the precursor to the modern right libertarian. Minimal government interference, no borders, basically, so you can have the maximum exchange of capital and resources and labor across borders to maximize market efficiency. Basically, all of society is deferred to two things: market freedoms and individual rights. Now, what this does usually mean is that you don't have a very strong welfare state, or one at all. You don't tend to have a very strong involvement in the life of the individual from larger institutions, which can be a good thing in some cases, like the police or the military, and a bad thing in other cases, like investment in impoverished neighborhoods. Essentially, just think of it as a precursor to right libertarianism, and none of those beliefs gel with President Trump at all. There is the gap between these. Adam Smith did believe in a strong welfare state, but everyone misquotes him, so nobody cares. The gap. He also advocated for worker co-ops, by the way. Listen, I'm just following in the intellectual tradition of my forefathers. Okay. Anyway, he did. No, he did, seriously. The forefathers he called landlords leeches. That's true. The forefathers of capitalism, as we know it, would be disgusted with the way that it is manifested today. But anyway, this is completely incompatible with President Trump. President Trump, who is anti-free speech, threatening to crack down on libel laws, threatening to deport or revoke the citizenship of people who burn the flag. Breaking up peaceful protests, an exertion of military might. There's just no way to be a classical liberal and be a Trump supporter. So I was going to hammer Nick pretty hard on that. And now Nick is taken away. Bold move, Nick. 9,000 IQ move. You have taken away my my trump card, so to speak. If we were to debate. So well done, Joseph Joestar. You have successfully seen what I was going to say next. And well done. I respect it. I do respect it. I don't want anyone bothering Nickvideos over it. Now, we are not done with TikTok. Not by any measure. Not by any means or measure, okay? We are just beginning on that platform. That conservative hype house, I think is it the conservative hype house, the Republican hype house? It's one of them, has 1 million followers on TikTok. That's an unacceptable number of followers. I am personally offended by the amount of support that channel has seen. So we are going to make an active effort to murder TikTok. We will do it, and it will be xenophobic, because is TikTok not owned by that gigantic Chinese corporation? No? Possibly. So we'll make the tankies mad too. You know how it is. We'll enrage everyone with our praxis, and I look forward to it. I do because the thing, yeah, Tencent. That's it. Tencent. That's the name. Thank you. The thing that I care about more than anything else. There are so many political interlocutors, and I feel like there are so many different points in the spectrum, and I feel like I'm trying to be very holistic about this. My goal is always going to be to bring as many people over to my side as possible. I have a political agenda. I'm very biased, I openly admit this. I'm not some neutral, arbiter of truth who, blindly pursues what no, no, no. I care very much, about socialism and progressivism and egalitarianism and intersectional analysis, and I want other people to care about these things too. And in part of that is me being able to reach out to these other platforms. Part of that is me being able to meet people where they are, And I think I really want to do that because so far in my brief engagement with the TikTok community, I have seen a lot of cringe, but also earnest and sincere political interest, and that's really, really nice. Because a lot of these, because it's mostly younger people in that app, they're very easy to idolize, if that makes any sense. Like they'll very quickly find these like groups or leaders or figures to defer to. And that can be a very dangerous tendency because if they find a sufficiently snarky Ben Shapiro impersonator, then maybe they'll lean that way. And it's a volatile political situation. So hopefully I can reach out a little bit there. I can expose them to my big brain ideas. Our big brain ideas. I know many of you agree with me on many things. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But the goal will not be to get them to idolize me because I'm a fucking idiot. I make mistakes constantly. Presently, right now, I can think of 3 things I'm doing wrong. Bet you can't spot all 3. Idolizing me is not the solution, okay? But getting involved in the mechanisms which help people arrive at better political decisions, that is what matters at the end. That's the most important part.